So in today's video, you would be learning how to design this social media flyer right in Photoshop. So if you're ready, let's dive right into the video. Alright, so here we are in Photoshop and we're going to create a new canvas. So you go to File and yeah, so let me just zoom into my screen so you see clearly. So you go to File, then go to New, and yeah, so we're using a dimension of 1080 by 1080 pixels. Okay, as you can see right here, 1080 by 1080 pixels. And then I'm just going to give the title, let's just say social media flyer. Alright. Okay, then I go down to ensure my color mode is RGB since I'm not going to print mine. And yeah, so I leave other settings the way they are and I go right ahead and I click create. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to start importing our images. So these are the images that we'll be using for this tutorial, and I'll leave them right in the comment section so you can download them and feel free to practice along. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to bring in our main image. So you can either drag it into your work area but I just like to use this this process. I just right click and I select open in Photoshop. Okay, this is how I like to import my images into my work area. So I'm just going to drag it, okay, drag it into my area like so. Okay, then I ensure that I zoom out to fill up the canvas. Okay, something like this. Ensure that you fill up the canvas. Okay, something like this. Okay. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do right here is that I'm going to bring in another image. So I go to, once again, go to File right here. Then I go to Place Embedded. Okay, like so. And I bring in this sunburst background, double click to import it. Okay, then I click this check mark to drop it, and then okay, next thing I'm going to do first is that I'm going to desaturate this image. Now if you are new to the concept of desaturation of images in Photoshop, I made a video on this channel that explains the entire process from start to finish, so I'll leave a link to that video in the description box or as a pinned comment in the comment section, so feel free to watch that video to properly understand the concept of desaturation. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do right here is that I'm going to turn this to a smart object before I do my desaturation. So I right click right here and then I go to where I have convert to smart object. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double click the thumbnail right here, and then it's going to open in a new tab for me. Alright, so I'm just going to press the shortcut Ctrl+Shift-U. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, let me just go and create a new layer, a new field or adjustment layer. I click and I go to hue and saturation, and then right here, as you can see, I go under where I have saturation and I do it down all to -100. Okay, -100, and then let me zoom out, and then I save. Okay, Ctrl+S to save. Okay, so I come back to my work area. Okay, I can just drag it into my work area. Okay, sorry, not there. It's okay, sorry about that. It's supposed to be here. So once you save, okay, after converting to a smart object, and once you save your image, okay, it will automatically reflect on the initial place where you use the place embedded command. Okay, now so I'm going to take this to fill up the entire work area, and then I click this to check mark to drop it. So the next thing I'm going to do right here, I go to my layer options. Okay, so where you have okay, so I ensure that, first of all, let me rename this as, let me just say sunburst image. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to go under where I have the blending options right here. So where I have the blending options right here, so I'll just go, I click this drop down arrow, and then I go to, okay, I just go peruse through the different options. Most times you use either overlay or soft light. Okay, this is what works. Okay, either overlay or soft light. Okay, I think I'm gonna just go with the soft light, and then where you have your opacity, I turn it a bit down. Okay, I think this is cool. I think 50 is just perfect. Alright, now next thing I'm going to do, so as you can see right here, there are some part of the sunburst effect that is reflecting on the image, the main image. So what you're going to do is that I'm going to brush it off. Okay, so before I do my apply my brush, I have to create a mask for the sunburst image. Now to do that, it's pretty simple. First of all, select the sunburst layer, and then you go to where you have this option right here. It says create a layer mask. Okay, so I click this. Alright, so I come to where I have my two boxes, my two panels, my panel right here. Okay, right where I have my options. So right here, my two box. Okay, now I go to where I have the brush. I think it's here. Okay, I click and I hold down and I press and I click the brush tool, or you can also just press letter B on the keyboard. Okay, so you come down to your foreground and background color option right here. Ensure that black is set to your foreground and white is your background. Okay, because black color hides and white reveals. Okay, so I'm just going to gently brush off the image. So as you can see, gently. So as you can see, as I brush it off, you can see that the sunburst effect gradually lifts the image. Okay, like so. Okay, I think this is cool. All right. Then I drop my brush tool, so I can just go right ahead once again and reduce the opacity a bit further. I think it's, let me reduce the opacity a bit further, take it down to maybe 35. Okay, I think 35 is cool. So I'm sure you're having value from this video already. If you are, please give this video a like, share this video with your friends, and of course subscribe to my channel for more amazing graphic design and general tech tips, tricks and tutorials. Alright, so next up I'm going to bring in yet another image to use to add to my background. So once again, I go to File, go to Place Embedded, and then I import these social media icons right here. Double click to import, zoom out of my screen, click this to drop it. So once again, I go to the layers right here. Okay, let me zoom in, and I right click and I select create a convert to a smart object, like so, and then I click the thumbnail to open in a new tab for me. So next thing I'm going to do right here is that I'm going to desaturate this image. So once again, the link to the video I made on desaturation, it's in the comment section, or I'll leave it in the description box. Okay, so feel free to watch that video to get the whole concept on desaturation. All right, so I'm going to desaturate this image, and okay, so I go to once again the layer, hue and saturation, take this all the way down to 0, and then I click save to save it. Alright, so we have desaturated our image. So once again, I'm going to blend this to the background. Okay, so I'm going to go to once again to the blending options right here. So I go to the layer options or blending options, then I change it from normal to, let's say, soft light or overlay. Which do you think, overlay or soft light? Okay, let's go for an overlay. Let's go for an overlay like so. So next thing I'm going to do right here is that I'm going to reduce the opacity, take it down to, let's say, 50, 30 something. Alright, then next up I'm going to create a layer mask. So I go to, okay, so I ensure this is active. Then I go to the add layer mask option, add the layer mask. Then I go to my brush tool right here. I pick the brush tool. Once again, you can also press letter T on letter B on the keyboard. That's the shortcut to picking the brush tool. So I just go right ahead and start brushing off my image. Okay, so that the icons doesn't reflect. Okay, just brush it off. Okay, brush it off once again. So you drop your brush tool and then you position the social media icons properly. Okay, something like so. Okay, just to reveal that it's actually a social media flyer. Alright, so I think I can also reduce the opacity a bit further. So I go to the opacity, turn it a bit further, take it down a bit. Okay, I think this is cool. Alright, so I think this is nice. So the next thing we're going to do right here is to start adding our text. Okay, but before I go on to do that, I'm just going to group all these items. I think it's good practice so to keep your workspace organized and properly formatted. Okay, so I'm going to select these three icons, or layers rather, and then I'm going to press the letters Ctrl G on my keyboard to create a group. So I can rename this as background rather. Alright, so next up I'm going to start adding my text. Alright, so I already have the text in a notepad, so I'm just going to copy and paste it. So first things, I'm going to copy this relax, and okay, so I'm going to take my text to by pressing the letter T on the keyboard, and yeah, I can paste it, relax. And then I'm going to use the font, yes, so I go to my character panel right here. First of all, I change this to blue, okay, change this to, I want a deep blue text for this, a deep blue text for this, something like so. There's my blues, where are my blues? Okay, I think this is cool. Yeah, so this is nice. Alright, so then I go for a calling font. I think I go for this what's this? Is it Archipelago? Okay, that's the font name, Archipelago. So I'll leave a link to this font in the comment section or in the description box as well. So this is the font I'm using, and then I can just position it. Okay, so next up I'm going to add the other texts. Okay, so I'm going to go to my notepad right here, and I copy this one. Okay, let me just copy everything. Copy, then once again go to my text tool, click this, Ctrl V to paste. Okay, so I'm going to change my I'm going to change the font to a Montserrat. I think I want a Montserrat bold. It's cool. Alright, so I'm going to ensure it's properly aligned. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this. Okay, so make it something like this. Let me bring it a bit to the side so I have space for, okay, let me take this. Okay, let me bring this further down. Alright, so next up I'm going to go under my character panel. I'm going to increase the tracking. Okay, let's go for, let me take this to 16. Let me make it a 30, not too much. Okay, let's make it a 24. Okay, let me increase it. Let me take it further. Let's make it something like 22. Let's see how that looks. Okay, I think this is cool. 22 is cool. Alright, so I'm just going to highlight. Let me go for an extra bold. Okay, let me go for an extra bold. So I come here and make this extra bold. Okay, I think this is cool. Let me resize this a bit so it will not be on our image. So I think we're making good progress. So if you're having value from this video, please give this video a like and share this video, and also subscribe to the channel because I've got loads of graphic design videos coming up, so you don't want to miss them. So ensure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell as well. Alright, let me group this as my text. So I go to so I select the text layers and Ctrl G to group them, and I can say text. Alright, okay, so next up I'm going to go to my rectangle tool right here. Okay, I'm going to go to my rectangle tool. I'm going to go for a rounded rectangle, something like this, and then I'm going to draw just above the grow. Alright, and I drop my tool. I'm going to make it a red. Okay, I think I have different red colors here already. So okay, so next thing I'm going to do right here is that I'm going to bring the rectangle to be below the texts. Okay, so because as you can see right here, the rectangle is covering the text. Okay, but I want the text to be in front and the rectangle behind. So what do? I come down here. So this is the rectangle one, so I drag it and take it just below the text option. Good. So as you can see right here, it's under the rectangle. Okay, but however, you notice that our text is no longer legible. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm just going to change. Okay, let me position the rectangle a bit, align it properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this part where I have the grow. I'm going to change it to white. Okay, so what do? I select my text. Okay, and then I double click on the thumbnail right here to highlight this. So I highlight just this part, and I go to my color option here, change it to white, and then white, and then I click OK. So as you can see right here, this has changed to white. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this rectangle right here. So I go to my rectangle layer and I select Ctrl J to duplicate. Okay, and then I'm going to drag the rectangle to go above this one as well, to go beneath rather. So okay, as you can see right here, it's below the text manage, and I'm going to increase it. So I hold my shift key and increase the rectangle just to fill up the word manage. Alright, so next up I'm going to also change this color to white. Okay, the color of the text manage, or the word manage. So once again I double click on my thumbnail, click on it, double click on the thumbnail. Okay, just select just the manage, go to my color picker, change it to white, and then I click OK. Then I drop my text tool. Alright, so as you can see, this is making progress. Now why I changed just the grow and manage, okay, why I had to put a background is because that's the part of the write-up or part of the design that has a lot of emphasis. Okay, people would want to grow and manage their social media accounts, so that's why I have to put a lot of emphasis on the words grow and manage. All right, so I'm going to add the contact addresses and of course the name of the brand. Okay, so before I do that, I'm going to draw a rectangle. Okay, so once again I come to my toolbars right here, and then I take my rectangle. I think I can go for a round rectangle once again. I click, take it all the way down like so, something like this, drop my tool. Alright, so I'm going to change this to white. So I come to my properties panel right here and I go for a white like so, and I drop my rectangle tool, zoom out. So I think this is cool. We're making progress now. So as you can see right here, I want to just tweak this rectangle a bit, the last one I drew, so that it doesn't obstruct the shoe of the image right here. So I can either do it like bring it out like this, okay, but I just want it to be a bit not too far from the chair of where this person is sitting down, where the image is. So what do I need to do is I bring it in a bit, then I go to my layer options. So I add a layer mask right here, add the layer mask, and I go to my brush to take my brush tool. So and then I come to where I have the properties of the brush, and I select a hard brush. So I change it to a hard brush like this, very one. Okay, then I can reduce the size a bit. Okay, so let me zoom out. Then I just slowly take off the okay, let me see. Okay, sorry, you have to rasterize it, of course, and then you brush it off. Okay, let me Ctrl Z. That's too much. Okay, just slightly, and just take it off. Okay, so it doesn't be too much. Just do that. Alright, so I'm going to start importing my logo, and so I once again go to File, Place Embedded. Place Embedded. Bring in my logo. Double click. Okay, click this to drop it. So I'm going to take it down. First of all, I command this to Smart Object. Alright, then I resize my image, my logo, something like so. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line right here just beside the logo. So how do I do that? I go to my layer, my options down here. Let me zoom in, and then I create a new layer. Okay, then I go to my marquee tools right here. I select the rectangular marquee tool. I come here, just draw a little rectangle, something like so. Okay, then I drop my marquee tool. Then I go to the paint bucket options. First of all, I change it to something like orange. Okay, something like this, deep orange. And then click OK. Then I take my paint bucket tool, ensure that the layer option here is selected. Then I click this to fill up the rectangle. Then I drop my paint bucket. Alright, then I go here under select and I select deselect. Okay, so as you can see right here, okay, then I can just reduce the size of this rectangle a bit just to make it a bit tiny. Okay, I can bring it in like so. Okay, hit enter. I'm going to start adding my text. So I go to my text tool by pressing the letter T on the keyboard, and I type the word Graceville Solutions. Sorry, graphic design, and social media management, MGT. Alright, so I drop my text to go to my color, my character panel, change this to blue, the blue on the logo. Take my color picker and take the blue on this logo. Okay, let me make it a darker shade. Alright, and then I resize, I reduce the text, so let me reduce the text a bit. Alright, I bring it in like so. Okay, just resize it so that it fills up the space. Right, so I can go right ahead and then duplicate this option, this text option. So I hold Alt key, click and drag to duplicate, then I type the word Graceville. That's the name of the brand, Graceville Solutions. Hit enter, Solutions. Alright, so I reduce, okay, bring it down here. Let me reduce the tracking. Let me reduce it to 6. Okay, I think this is cool. Then I resize this and I bring it down right here. Cool. Now, then you hit enter. Alright, so I think this is all come together, and I'm sure you're having full value for this video. If you are, please give this video a like, and of course subscribe to my channel because I've got loads of interesting stuff coming up. Alright, so I can increase the size of this a bit, and then yeah, so we're done. So next up, I'm going to bring in my social media icons. That's the phone number and of course the WhatsApp number. So let me just close all these windows. I don't need them anymore. Close them. Okay, so I'm going to bring in, so I go to File, and yeah, once again go to Place Embedded. Okay, bring in my Facebook icon first of all. Okay, Ctrl+0 to drop it, and then alright, so I can rename it as Facebook icon. Okay, hit enter, and then resize this. Okay, first of all, I'm going to take my eraser tool, magic eraser tool, sorry, my eraser tool. Okay, rasterize this. Sorry, my eraser, sorry, magic eraser, sorry. Then take out make it sort of transparent, take out the white part of the image. Then I resize it. Okay. Then I'm going to change the color of this social media icon. So I go to the blending options right here. Blending options. Then I go to color overlay right here. Then I take my, okay. Then I take the color picker and I go to where I have my logo and just pick the exact color for this and make it darker. And I click OK and OK once again. So as you can see, I've successfully changed the color of the logo. So I'm going to resize it all the way down. Okay, bring it down like so. Then I'm going to do the same for the others. So I go to File, Place Embedded, take my YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the same process. Just resize it, hit enter, go to blending options, and then color overlay, and then you click OK, and then you resize it. Then finally I'm going to do further is Instagram, place embedded, and then Instagram. So these are, and by the way, you can follow us on social media at Graceville Solutions, at YouTube, on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. Okay, we use the brand name Graceville Solutions. Alright, and of course, by the way, we also manage social media accounts. We help you grow and manage your social media accounts. So you can, if you want, also help you with your social media needs, you can also contact us as well. Alright, so I can go to my blending options once again and color overlay, make it blue, and then drag it into your work area like so. Okay, I think this is all making sense right now. And then I'm going to add the name and the social media account. So I'm just going to duplicate this, click and drag, okay, and just type the word gracevillesolutions. So these are our social media handles. You can follow us on these accounts, and you can also send us a DM if you want us to design flyers and also manage our social media accounts for you. Alright, so I can put this like so. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import the WhatsApp icon and the phone number. So I go to, once again, like we've been doing throughout this video, go to File, Place Embedded, and this is how you can import your images into Photoshop. And yeah, this is the WhatsApp icon, and then click to drop it. So I'm going to resize, okay, let me zoom out. I'm going to resize this as well. Okay, let me resize, oh sorry about that. I'm going to resize this just as I've done for the others, and I'm going to take my eraser tool, right, and then magic eraser tool, sorry, then rasterize it and take out this white part. Then then I go to my blending options right here. I want to give it a blue color, or what I also need to do just to save time, I can just go right ahead where that's under the Instagram account where I already change the colors and all that. What I just need to do, instead of to reapply the effect all over again, to save time, I just click here and then I say copy. Okay, I click and say copy layer style. Okay, so it's going to copy, this command is going to copy everything about that layer and paste it on the new layer. So I'm going to click copy, then I go to my WhatsApp icon right here. So okay, I'm going to my WhatsApp icon, then I click paste. So as you can see right here, the icon automatically changes. Okay, so this is how you can improve your workflow. Okay, it saves you time, so you don't have to apply the blending options all over again. So I resize this like so. Okay, let me resize this so it will fit in properly, and I hit OK to drop it. So I'm going to drop the phone number of the organization, so you can, so in case clients wants to contact them. So I just duplicate this, alt click and drag, and yeah, so alright, so I click it into the work area just beside the WhatsApp icon. Alright, so let me increase this so it will be properly aligned. So we've come to the end of our designs. I mean, this is cool, okay? It's really amazing. So this is how you can design a cool social media flyer in Photoshop. Alright, so I'm sure you had value from this video. I did my best to make it step by step so that everyone, no matter how the level of your proficiency in graphic design, you can be able to flow along. So once again, I'll leave the links to the documents I use for this design in the description box or as a pinned comment in the comment section. So feel free to practice along, and also hit me up with your designs on my various social media platforms. Okay, so thanks for watching, and yeah, so subscribe to my channel because I've got really cool, amazing graphic design tutorials all lined up for ya. So till I see you in my next video, take care and stay safe.